Have you ever bonded with a machine? If you've ever played a video game, chances are you've kind of bonded with your computer, whatever device it is that you're playing your video game on. But let's stop and think about this for a second. Now, what we're talking about here is trauma bonding, and we're going to use the illustration or analogy of, the slot machine. So let's imagine that at this very, well, we don't have to imagine, at this very moment, there are probably countless thousands, tens of thousands of people in Las Vegas and casinos all over the planet who are playing slot machines. Why would they do that? It doesn't make sense to me because going in, I mean, when you walk in the door of the casino, wherever you're playing, you got to lose money. So you do it. Why? I guess it's fun, that opportunity to win something. So you go through loss after loss after loss after loss with the promise of a reward that inevitably is going to come, and it does come. All you do is play it long enough. Well, that is essentially the same thing as trauma bonding, only instead of playing a video game or playing a slot machine, what we're doing is we are being manipulated by a human being. In this case, we're talking about someone who is probably a narcissist or just a controller with narcissistic tendencies. So let's talk about this for a second. First of all, we need to understand that when it comes to trauma bonding, there are no physical change. There are no bonds, obviously, that are tying you to the narcissist or to a slot machine or to a video game. You literally get up, walk away anytime you want. So why do people sit there? I mean, Las Vegas, they sit there for hours sometimes. And they just sit there and lose money. But it's fun because, I guess it's fun. Why else would they do it? Because, they had that anticipation of the intermittent payout. Same thing when you're dealing with a narcissist. This person will abuse you. They will treat you like crap. They will say nasty, hateful things to you. Sometimes they will even get physically violent, not always. Why do people put up with that? I don't understand it, except in the context of trauma bonding, because they know eventually something good is going to happen. They're going to get a reward from this person. So what they are doing, what the victim is doing, is we are trying to get past the trauma so we can get to the sweet spot, so we can get to that point where the narcissist or the abuser or the controller rewards us. So we're going through all the abuse so we can get to the reward. That sounds to me like it's totally crazy. Now, if the narcissist is analogized as a slot machine, that means we must be spending something, putting coins in the machine. All right, maybe I'm taking this a little bit too far, but I don't think so. So what does it cost you to play a slot machine? What does it cost you to play the narcissist game? Well, here are some of the coins that you're putting in the machine. I just kind of jotted some of these down. There's probably more. If you can think of some, you could put them in the comment section. But number one, it costs you your dignity. You're just kind of giving up who you are. You no longer have that sense of being a somebody, and everyone is a somebody, Now, I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm not talking about narcissism. That's the other guy's game. But we're talking about just having that solid sense of self-worth, and that is the second thing that you give up. That's another coin you put into the narcissist/slot machine. Also, you give up your confidence. So you don't have confidence to get up and walk away. Hopefully you do, but people don't. That's why they stay. So you don't have the confidence to make it on your own. Somehow you feel like you need that narcissist, and you need that fix that comes at the end of the abuse, and then you lose that reward eventually. It doesn't last very long. So you lose the confidence to make it on your own. That's another coin. And another one yet is your independence, the way of thinking on your own. That's something akin to confidence, but you just can't seem to think without the narcissist being there, thinking for you. It's kind of like they're living vicariously through you, or you're living vicariously through them. Again, as I like to use the analogy in many of my videos, the puppeteer and the puppet master. He is pulling the strings, and you're letting him do it. Another thing you lose, another coin that you're putting in the slot machine, so to speak, is control, which is kind of obvious. Now, as I've said before, the natural response is to pull back on the string. The narcissist is pulling on our string, he being the puppeteer, we being the puppet. So we say, I'm going to give this guy a taste of his own medicine. I'm going to pull back on the string. I'll be the puppeteer, let him be the puppet. Doesn't work that way because, that's part of his game. He likes that tug and pull and give and take. Or she does, whoever it happens to be. All right, now, another thing we need to notice about this analogy is um, slot machines really don't like you. I don't know if you know this or not, but yeah, I think you do. Slot machine does not love you. They don't care about you. In fact, they don't even know you exist. They exist for the sole purpose of taking advantage of you. And a narcissist, well, cognitively, yeah, he or she does know that you exist. They're not inanimate objects like a slot machine. But there's not a whole lot of difference beyond that because, quite frankly, they don't care about you any more than a slot machine does. So there is a power behind the slot machine, and that is whoever owns the casino, right? So that is the individual or the group of individuals who is actually taking your money. So in this analogy, we could expand it and say that a narcissist is like the owner of a casino. They're just taking advantage of you, and the slot machines are the vehicle that works. And narcissists have these vehicles that they use to control you, and those vehicles are abuse. And you go through and you put your money in and you lose it, you put your money in and you lose it, and you know eventually it's going to come. All right, so how is a narcissist like a slot machine? First of all, the narcissist has no interest in you whatsoever. He pretends he does. Now, when you walk into a casino, and I've been to Las Vegas once, and I gotta admit, I didn't spend anything on gambling. I didn't put any coins in any slot machine. I was there, I saw the sights. I got some pretty cheap dinners, but that was it. It was a place to do sightseeing and nothing more. But one thing that I did notice is that everything about a casino is designed to allure gamblers in so they can lose their money. So it's kind of love bombing. So they show interest in you in that sense. They have interest in you enough that you will come in, be awed and amazed at the sights and the sounds, which somebody with autism, that's not that impressive with me, but I guess typical people, it's very impressive. It works, obviously. It's designed to work. So a narcissist in this sense will woo you in, but he has no more interest in you than the owners of a casino. Just want what they can get out of you. Narcissists are like a slot machine in that you can walk away from a narcissist anytime you want. And again, as we said earlier, that's easy to say, but it's not easily done. And we can observe that in the casino. All these people gambling at slot machines, any one of them can get up and walk away anytime they want. All of them know that the game is stacked against them. In fact, sometimes the casinos will actually advertise how low the loss is, but still they're advertising the fact that you're going to lose money. Okay, you're only going to lose 3%. What kind of stupid investment is that? I don't know, but people play it because, well, there's that something akin to trauma bonding. The narcissist will wait for the next victim is another way we can do this comparison. So what if you do get up and walk away? Well, get up and walk away from a slot machine, and what does a slot machine do? It doesn't cry. It just sits there and waits for the next victim to come along, or the next player to come along. So the narcissist does much the same thing. It just sits there, he just sits there, she just sits there, and waits for the next victim to come along. I say sit there, they do the allure thing and try to pull them in, but basically they're just going to wait for the next victim. And they may come after you again, just like the casino doesn't mind if you come back and waste more money. They're happy to do that, but if you don't come back, they're perfectly okay with that. The narcissist is perfectly fine if you disappear forever. If you were to fall over dead, well, he just goes on. She just goes on. They say, well, I lost a good customer. That's all you are, is a source of supply. An ego boost. That's pretty much all you mean to the narcissist. So the narcissist seems to promise a payout. And that's the big deal about casinos, right? The big payout, even though, okay, you're going to lose, but, a percentage, but they still, if you walk into a casino, typically they'll have this big sign that advertises the latest big winner. Somebody came in here and won $1 million. They make a big deal about that. But overall, we all know people lose. So where did that $1 million come from that person won? Well, it came from all the other losers sitting there playing the slot machines. That's where it came from. So, yeah, the loser or the narcissist rather will present himself or herself in the love bombing stage as a catch. This is going to be a good time, and they promise that they're going to pay out, which they do intermittently, but you always pay in more than you get back. The next one rather, narcissist always, well, we just said it, always takes more than they give. And finally, unlike a slot machine, narcissists often disguise themselves. Well, yeah, in a sense, I guess a casino disguises itself as a wonderland, a wonderful place to be, a great experience. In that sense, they are the same, but the slot machine per se, it's a slot machine. I mean, it may have some advertising on it. I'm not that familiar with them, but probably there's something about the slot machine itself that it tries to make itself alluring. But it's not human, and it doesn't communicate with you the way a human does. So a narcissist has a little bit of advantage over a slot machine in that they can be very personable, and that is the draw in. So that effectively is what trauma bonding is all about. Well, how do you avoid this, or how do you get out of it? Well, first of all, there are 3 simple steps to this. I did a whole video on this. But first of all, you have to know what the problem is. The problem is it's a scam, right? Whether it's a narcissist or a slot machine or a video game. Video game doesn't have a payout other than just fun of playing it. Well, they give you points. I guess that's something. But, it's a scam. With the narcissist, you may not know that up front. With a slot machine, you pretty much know it. Unless you are from a foreign planet, an alien planet, chances are you're going to lose money. So you're just kind of playing it for the fun of it, right? For the bonding, for the payout that may come. Inevitably, it's going to come, but will it cover your losses? Probably not, but you play it anyhow. But once you know that, all right, you understand how the game works. So we got 2 steps. First of all, you know it's a scam. You understand how it works. And the third step is where everyone misses it, or those who miss it. And that is taking action, getting up and just walking away. So that is what I call wisdom. So we have 3 different things. Number 1 is knowledge, number 2 is understanding, and number 3 is wisdom. Wisdom is nothing more, well, it's significant, so I shouldn't use the phrase nothing more, but it applies. So it's nothing more than acting on what you know and understand. That is wisdom. So if you're stuck in a trauma bond situation, you need to act on that. You need to use wisdom. You need to get yourself out of it. You need to consider that, hey, I'm in life's casino. I need to get out of this. Now, here's a bonus point that I wanted to make because I think this is important. And that is that trauma bonding can exist, I have discovered, with more than just people. Slot machines, yeah, we talked about that. But, trauma bonding, sometimes people get involved in religious cults because they have this trauma bond with a religious cult. They get into the cult, they have the love bombing first, like the casino has the attraction that pulls you in, the allurement. And once you get in, you find that you are being abused. They take advantage of you financially, emotionally. They take your time as you're out there making new converts or whatever you're doing. But there's always a reward. And a lot of people in religion, religious cults, or maybe just religion in general, they have this promise of something good that's going to happen. And I've heard televangelists even say that. Something good is going to happen. Well, that is the intermittent, what do you call it? When the slot machine, well, that's the payout. When the slot machine pays out, that's when the narcissist does something kind to you. So you go through all the crap that a religious cult will put you through, but eventually you're going to get this payout at some point, and that's the feel-good thing. Then you go right back to it, but you've got this allure pulling you into it, and it's not just religious cults. It could be something that is ideological, maybe a political view, or something something akin to that. There's all kinds of things that aren't people, that aren't inanimate objects, but ideologies and philosophies that, it seems to me, and this is just something that occurred to me while I was putting together my notes, the trauma bonding isn't just something that we deal with narcissists, but we can find it everywhere. So what we need to ask ourselves is, why are we doing this? Why are we involved in this cult, this religion? Why are we involved with this person? Why are we involved with this slot machine? Why are we doing this? Are we being punished? in anticipation of that payout? Are we trying to get over the hump of the hurt to get to the feel-good part of it? Why would we do that? Why don't we just get out of it altogether? Why don't we apply wisdom? Two rectangles on the screen. If you want to keep talking, let's do it. Just click one of those two rectangles and the conversation, it goes on. But if not, thanks for stopping by. And we'll see y'all next time.